Hello, welcome to Go My Favorite Sports Team, the podcast where we talk about sports. Isn't that right?
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
I think we need to reboot Mark.
Oh, hey, what's up? Well, welcome to Go. All right, I'm hungry. If you didn't know, I haven't eaten today.
I had one cheese stick.
Well, good for you.
I want a cheese stick?
I had a swig of milk. That's what I had.
A swig.
A swig. But it's 4:24, and I've got food on the way, so we're going to eat that as soon as it's done. But for now, we're going to talk about sports, and I hope it's not food-related.
It's not at all, maybe a little bit food-related. It's not eating food.
Well, we don't play sports here either, but we sure do talk about them. So I don't think it'll be any better than that.
But anyway, how are you, Mark?
Good, busy.
Other than hungry.
Hungry, busy, keeping up on things, getting back into YouTube, which is nice. Yeah, so it was so strange because as soon as, like, today was super busy and random, and I was jumping all over the place. But as soon as I left, I got, like, a message immediately when I left that the server something had gone wrong at the server.
Oh,
so I haven't fixed it yet. That thing I was telling you about, I didn't fix it. Something has gone wrong, and I don't know what. And it was as soon as I left.
It was like, Mark's gone, now we have a problem.
Exactly. I was there all day until like 3:45. I left at 3:45. I was there all day long. Nothing goes wrong until the second I leave.
Isn't that the truth? Like, the instant you get busy, everything piles on. It's never when things have calmed down that people are asking stuff of you.
And it's not fair.
It's just the universe. It's just
the universe. Yeah.
Everybody realizes the instant you're getting asked for something, everyone's like, oh, we can ask him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But anyway, so that's all that is. It's fine. Don't worry about that. I'm not too concerned. But we're here to talk about things other than me, which is you. How's your life?
Going well. I had that trip to El Salvador, which was really cool. Saw New York City for the first time.
Have you never seen New York City?
I've never seen New York City. I think I've been to New York, but never went into the city. So I took like the Staten Island ferry to see the Statue of Liberty, which, by the way, fantastic public transportation. It's free to anybody to ride the Staten Island ferry, which is really cool. And then they have a bunch of bikes, and they have bike paths in Manhattan. And so we rented some e-bikes and rode around. Went to a gala there for a charity called AmeriCares, which was actually here in LA during the massive wildfires.
Oh, that's good.
They supply medicine during times when things go haywire and disasters and such, and supply medicine to free clinics all over the world, especially those serving diabetes with insulin and stuff like that, where people can go and get care if they don't have health insurance or can't afford medicine.
That's nice.
So they do that across the U.S. and across the world.
That's great.
So I found out all about that. I had never heard about them before, and then went to El Salvador and saw their clinic. It was pretty cool.
That's cool. What a place to encounter them, all the way in El Salvador. But wasn't El Salvador in the news recently?
It is.
They sent
very much so.
I was wondering why. I was like, El
it's
Salvador.
where a bunch of people are being deported wrongfully.
Huh. Fascinating.
Yeah. And recently they talked about how somebody who was wrongfully deported is not being sent back. That's what the recent news is.
Yeah, I saw that.
It makes no sense.
Well, there's a lot of things that don't make sense right now.
Yes.
And so we're here to just carry on and talk about sports and then inwardly panic.
Yeah. On top of that, there is one more news relative thing related to the incumbent Orange Man himself with regards to the topic we'll be discussing.
Say what you said again with less convoluted big words that weren't actually used properly.
The president is in the news more recently with something that
more recently
than the last thing we were talking about.
Oh, okay. I thought just in general.
More recently.
How could it be more?
More recently with something that is actually related to the topic today.
Okay.
He decided that instead of 30,000 plastic eggs during the presidential Easter egg hunt, he's going to get 30,000 real eggs when the price of eggs are already exorbitant and normal people have a hard time getting eggs. And it's being paid for by taxpayers.
Whatever.
30,000 real eggs.
At this point, I'm like, whatever. What is that, like $30 billion?
I don't know. Could be at this point.
I mean, 30,000 eggs would be So it's like at most it'd be
It's like
$10 a dozen. So
I think it's
you're
more
looking-
than $10 a dozen. I think it's
in certain places.
in certain
but the
places.
average price is still hovering around 5.5 or something like that, depending on where you get them. I mean, it's not fun, but it is, like $40,000 or something like that. In the grand scheme of things, $300,000 or $30,000?
30,000.
Okay, yeah. So
I would
in
argue
the grand scheme of things, it's costing the taxpayers dollars. It's not the worst thing in the world. But
correct.
Still, it's
correct.
and I think that marginally we have to weigh it against like the plastic is not great either.
If the plastic already exists, though,
yeah.
it doesn't cost because there have been presidential Easter egg hunts, so they have the same Easter eggs from previous presidencies.
Yeah. I don't know. Things like this, I'm always like, there are legitimate things to get mad about.
There are far worse
many
things
to get mad about. And I'm like, I'm not gonna waste my mad juice to get mad about.
I only brought this up because it's relevant to the topic we'll be discussing.
I'm so
today.
hungry.
Yeah. We'll be hunting for Easter eggs ourselves soon because of how hungry you are.
Do you want me to fire through any news?
Sure. Hit me with a couple different things.
Okay, so Paige Buchers.
The
Buchers?
first round draft pick for the
Yep.
WNBA.
Oh, well, I guess I won't say anything. Jesus Christ.
Sorry. I'm well informed. What team was she drafted to?
Women's basketball phenom Paige Buchers. Bokers. Bo could be, I don't know, was chosen first overall by the Dallas Wings in the 2025 WNBA draft. Former UConn guard overcame injuries to lead her college team, now brings star power to Dallas. Bucher's selection kicked off the WNBA draft with a buzz as fans hope her playmaking and scoring will elevate the Wings and signal a new era to the franchise. The fact that this is on the list at all just goes to show the WNBA is gaining a lot of popularity, and it's great because, we always talk about what's her name. I can't even remember her name anymore.
The butter girl.
Yeah, some like Karen Christensen. I was trying to think. I was like Caitlin Clark. I was like, what other word besides C last name is there? Anyway, so it just goes to show the way is paved and more people are widening the road. And it's interesting. I don't know how this person plays. I don't know how she does.
It's also huge because March Madness added the women's tournament to it in the recent years with Caitlin Clark when she was in college at Iowa. And so more star power has shown up because it's getting more national television attention from the college level and beyond.
Rory McIlroy. I actually saw a video of this.
Rory McIlroy?
Whatever.
His career slam?
Yes, he finally got a green jacket.
Yes.
After years and years and years of losing over and over again, failing. I don't know if you lose at the Masters. I don't know.
I mean, you do. If you don't, you're not the best.
After failing for years and years, the 35-year-old Northern Islander. No. Yes. Northern Islander. It was not in Northern Ireland. It was at Augusta, wherever that is.
Georgia.
Augusta, Georgia.
Where the Masters are played every year.
There you go. And so he actually did it. He got it. And I saw the last putt. And it's like, it was one of those putts where it's like, it's that far from the hole. And it's one of those moments where like, this is either going to be the most embarrassing moment of his entire life. And he's going to fuck it up so bad, or he's going to make it. And he did make it. So
you have to understand how crazy the greens are at that course in Georgia.
Yeah.
Like you miss just slightly past the hole or even just off to the side. A lot of them are slanted to where it rolls completely off the green, like crazy fast greens and crazy like differences in elevation and slopes and stuff like that. But the cooler part about that is it actually came down to a playoff. It wasn't just completing the course and then somebody had less strokes than the other. They actually had to go head to head in a playoff to determine who won the Masters this year.
Oh, I see. I didn't watch the whole thing. All I'm doing is reading headlines. All right. So in, again, women's basketball news, which is actually two stories here, because we were talking about the college basketball March Madness yada yadas that happened, and that's all over, and no one cares anymore. But no one was talking about, well, we weren't anyway, the women's basketball championships, the NCAA Women's Championship, in which UConn Huskies claimed the title. Huskies defeated South Carolina in the final to secure the program's 12th national title. So they've won it 12 times, which is awfully impressive. But now that Paige Buchers
is gone,
is in Dallas, is going to be in Dallas, maybe they'll have a chance to rise up.
The Dallas Wings?
Wait, no, sorry. This is college. And
like, what are you thinking she's going to lift them to a championship in college?
That's what it was, because Paige Buchers was from UConn.
Yes.
Right. This makes sense now. This makes sense. But
yeah, the UConn's women team has been dominant for years and 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 years and
12
years and years and years and years.
That's too many years. He's passing the
years and years and years and years and years and years and years.
12 years.
They've been dominant in women's basketball.
12 national title.
Yes.
12.
It's still a lot of years to be dominant.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as many as you said. Anyway, also the NBA playoffs tip off amid key injuries. The postseason bracket is set to follow a thrilling play-in tournament, but the Milwaukee Bucks face an early challenge with star guard Damian Lillard sidelined by a calf injury. As the first-round series begins, fans are buzzing about whether the top contenders could advance without full rosters. Defending champions and newcomers alike are vying for the title.
And Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors fell from where they were when we did our primer on the NBA playoffs, prep theme for the playoffs. They fell out of being seeded in the tournament and have to be in the play-in, playing against, I believe, the Timberwolves.
Damn. Shame. Anyway, that's it.
Cool. Now it's time to get eggy. Egg on your face, egg on my face, eggs thrown all ways. It's egg sport time.
Egg sports.
It's exactly what you think it is.
Egg sports. This is going to be as well researched as the Irish
incredibly
sports.
researched. This is top quality content. All right.
I'm ready.
Mark.
Yes.
Easter is this weekend. It's the weekend before this episode airs. And there are many glorious events that take place around Easter.
Wait, it's already happened or it will happen?
It will already have happened when this airs, but it will happen this coming weekend because we're recording. Yeah. So, did your family have any Easter traditions?
No.
Really?
Well, I mean, we dyed eggs every once in a while, but it was not a regular thing.
My family always had a big Easter egg hunt, and it's a common thing for whatever reason for our government to host a giant
Wouldn't that
Easter
have been
egg
nice?
hunt too.
Having an Easter egg hunt, big one. I can't imagine having one egg as a kid, let alone a whole hunt full.
Especially kids today, they can't imagine having any eggs.
Yeah, anyway, so yeah, eggs.
Easter is a very Christian holiday, which is why it's weird that our government hosts a very traditional Christian Catholic holiday in the presidency, which separation of church and state should exist, just like the Bible shouldn't be taught in schools and things like that. But each spring, stores begin to be filled with bunnies that are stuffed, colorful baskets.
Wait, stuffed bunnies?
Stuffed bunnies. Not real bunnies, like stuffed animals, like plushies.
Stuffed with what?
The stuffing. That's not the stuffing in turkeys. It's what is it called? The fabricy stuff. We stuffed the stuffed turkeys with them. Polyfill. That's it. They're stuffed with polyfill.
Oh. You're right.
I got him.
That's it.
But, candy also appears. Spring-colored themed candy bars, plastic eggs, colorful baskets, real eggs, dye kits, painting kits for eggs, all in preparation for Easter. While Easter itself, of course, is tied to a religious holiday with regard to the rising again, the zombification of Jesus, even those who don't celebrate often take part in the dyeing of eggs and Easter egg hunts and stuff like that. Enjoying a few Peeps, those candy sugar-covered marshmallows that are shaped like birds, and taking their kids out and about to celebrate spring, sunshine, flowers.
Nice.
And for some reason, eggs.
Yeah, because it never made any sense. If everyone really actually thinks about it, eggs should have nothing to do with Easter, because it's the Easter bunny. And I hate to break it to you guys, bunnies don't lay eggs.
To find out why eggs, we have to travel back to medieval Europe. When the Anglo-Saxons lived, they worshipped the goddess Estere, spelled like Easter, but the E and the R at the end are flipped. As they celebrated the spring equinox, which demonstrated nature's rebirth after a cold, barren winter.
Right,
So
right.
very symbolic of the rebirth of Christ. They'd usually eat eggs at the festival and would even bury them in the ground to promote fertility among their people.
I mean, I guess it would work. Same as like putting a fish when you plant corn, which, for the longest time, because they taught that like early in schools, like the Pilgrims and the Native Americans, they just fish and corn. And I thought that's how farmers always did it. Like every stalk of corn had a piece of fish in it.
They tell you to put bone meal when you plant tulip bulbs. So
who's telling you that? No one's told me that. This is common knowledge.
This is the Green Thumb Society, okay?
I don't believe you. It's a lie.
That's not a lie. You're still checking how soon the food's going to get here.
I just did for the first time. What do you mean
That's the
still?
third time. I've been paying attention.
Third time? No, how? Literally, it's the first time. It wasn't even open to that app. It was on messages.
Ah.
I was looking at your message saying you hungry. But that was before. I haven't looked at my phone this whole time. This guy thinks that I'm a one-track mind. He believes whatever he said. I was outraged about something. He believes that. Can you believe that? No, I can't believe that.
But like many pagan traditions, medieval Christians then stole them from them and created holiday traditions using those same traditions.
I got to break it to you. Stole them from them doesn't mean a whole lot. They were converted.
That's true.
Yeah, so they just took their beliefs when these new people espousing this new religion came along, and they were like, hey, that God, one, and also Jesus. So it's kind of three.
The merge.
Yeah, so it merges, right?
They use their own beliefs against them to convert them to their religion. Is that what you're saying?
Not necessarily use them against them. I mean, people are influential and people are just
adapted them.
Yeah, if you see, this is a reason why, I mean, there's a lot more people know a lot more about like religious history and all this stuff and how it's influenced like political and the landscape of Europe and whatnot. But when it comes down to it, if you've lived in like mostly peasant conditions, you don't have a lot. You don't have a lot of good stuff. Definitely not a lot of pretty stuff, and definitely not a lot of gilded stuff.
You need something to give you hope.
No, it's not even that. You see someone coming down the road with this most ostentatious robe and gilded nonsense and kind of beautiful colors, and they're espousing that like, hey, there's a different God. Look at all the stuff they've given me. You might go, there might be something to that, because you just don't have anything to compare it to.
The art of seduction. Exactly.
It basically is that. And that's why there's so much fucking opulence in terms of religion, because it is a money funnel. It is a thing for just fucking money. And back in the day, money equated power. And so like, I'm not saying that it was specifically to that. You see it in throne rooms as well for kings and all kinds of royalties. Like the reason that it looks opulent is because it needs to fit the role. There cannot be this peasant king idea in those societies because people wouldn't accept them, because the social status of all the things, of all the people at the top fighting in the first place, it needs to like look the part.
So that's why our current president is filling the Oval Office being repainted to be more goldly.
Look, I'm not saying it was a smart thing in history. It's kind of dumb.
Yes.
Like when you think about it in a grand scheme of things, just having like gold foil and everything doesn't make it great or valuable. And also it's ugly.
Yes, it is very ugly. But that makes sense. It all adds up.
Yes, it all adds up.
But in honor of springtime and Easter, today we get to look into if eggs can be a sport.
Okay.
Surprisingly, yes, they can. You got Easter egg hunts, you got egg tosses, you got egg drops, you got egg dancing, you got egg-tastic egg racing, you got egg hula hoops, you got egg boils, you got egg eating competitions. Eggs can be sports.
Oh, did we determine if eating competitions were a sport? They are, right? Yeah, because you got to train for that. Okay.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah. So let's dive into the first of all the egg sports I got here.
Okay.
Egg tossing. Mark, tell us what makes egg tossing sportly.
So this is straight up a competition. It's like a one-on-one competition, the way I've experienced it. This does seem like the most straight up, yeah, this is a sport. You have you versus your opponent, and you start tossing an egg, and you take one step back, you toss the egg, you catch it, you take one step back, you toss it, and so you keep incrementally getting farther and farther apart until one drops it or they break it upon impact because they couldn't cushion it enough and the throw was too intense. So that is what I know as egg tossing.
My version was not you're against your opponent across from you. You and your opponent against everyone else who's also tossing.
Oh, interesting.
And so the idea is you and your teammate don't want to break the egg at all, while the other people, you want them to fail. And you both, every successful throw, it's the same thing. You take the step back and you have to throw it and catch it safely because it then incentivizes good throwing.
You're right. That's
and trying to work together.
And that way you can standardize how far everyone steps back. Well, what it should be is it should be like platforms and people are on platforms. And then there's a chasm of lava in between.
I like this.
And all around. There's lava everywhere.
And it has to be a live egg so that if you last long enough, it eventually births into a chick and then you got to toss the chick over it.
Births?
Breaks. Births is the wrong term. Emerges.
What would be the term?
What is the term? Hatches. That's the term.
That's the term. It was not that big a mystery, everyone. It was not that big a mystery. We were like, we need to invent a word for this. Nope. We're stupid.
While we'll never know when this originally became a sport, it's believed that the sport began in 1322 in Swatton, England, in a village where local church was the only place that had chickens and monks would pass out eggs to the community. And when the river would flood, the only way to give people eggs was for the monks to toss them over the river and for people to catch them. So it kind of originated like the lava thing, but just water instead.
Interesting. They didn't have boats back then.
In 1322, probably the water current was too strong for them to do the boats.
At some point, someone would build a ferry type of raft.
You think they would just stretch a rope and do a little pulley system and basket
They
it
probably
across.
did, and this is a fantastical tale that isn't true, but, you know,
Yeah.
they were dumb back then.
Hey, sometimes it's more efficient to just toss it, or maybe the church wanted it with power. God would choose you.
Or it was fun.
That could be it too. It's raining eggs. Sorry. It soon evolved into a game that's still popular today. It soon evolved into a game that's still popular today. There's even a World Egg Throwing Federation that was founded in 2006 in the UK that holds the World Egg Throwing Championship every year, where people across the globe compete for egg glory.
Okay.
And the 2025 World Egg Throwing Championships will be held on June 29th of this year. So if you want to travel over there with a partner, throw some eggs, have at it.
All right. Sounds good.
But yes, they start 33 apart, by the way.
You know, I'm going to pause you real quick.
Yes.
Everyone out there, do you not realize how many random bullshit sports you could partake in every single day? And this is saying to me too. There's intramural stuff all the time. There's people that do this shit all the time. You can make friends. You could go out and have fun. There's tons of this shit.
That's literally why we created the podcast.
Literally why we do this. So if you're not going to take these lessons to heart, I am going to remove your ability to play sports at all.
And that includes video games, esports.
Everything we decide is a sport, I'm going to remove it.
Breathing, a sport.
Technically, yes. So I didn't want to kill you, but it's on you at that point.
So apparently, according to regulation, you start 33 feet apart. You start. Form 2
meters?
lines, 33 feet apart. Yes.
That's
10
too far.
10
meters.
Yes. With each team member facing their partner. There's 2 positions in egg throwing, the catcher and the thrower.
I would posit that they both are the same position.
I agree.
In baseball, you know, everyone's catching and throwing in the field when they're getting the ball. You don't call them catchers and throwers.
You call them pitcher and catcher.
No, I'm not even talking about them. I'm talking about everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody catches and everyone throws. And it's like, you're just an egg tosser.
I don't know why it said position, but the person who starts tossing throws it to the other opponent who has to cradle it and catch it, and back and forth. And as each toss is announced, the teams move further apart, like you said. And if the egg breaks, you out. The furthest without breaking is the winner, and the world record was set in 2016 by a New Zealand team, throwing the egg 309 feet successfully.
A football field? A full football field. They chucked it safely, caught it. They even cracked the egg afterwards to make sure that it was in fact raw. From Man, that is a throw. That's not even just a catch. That's a throw.
It's both. I mean, to get the throw, because I've broken an egg accidentally by throwing it.
Yeah. There is an upper limit on. There must be a technique to hold it by, like, make sure all of your force is delivered to the point of it so that you can actually, like, lob it. Also, it shouldn't spin too much or else it'll be hard to catch. So it's got to be, like, almost like a perfect spiral. Football
then
style.
I throw it like a football, yeah.
Or under, like, kind of like twist and under, like, shoom, maybe like that. I would want to see a video because I bet there are really, really minute differences in style of throwing and how it affects where that egg's going to go and how it's going to go.
Let me see if there's a video.
It's got to be underhand because I feel like if you do it overhand, you run the risk of putting spin on it.
Guinness Book of World Records claims there's a longer one.
Oh.
Thrown 323 feet and 2 inches, but it's just egg throwing. I don't know if it was throw and catch. It was just throwing, yeah.
I mean, I'm sure someone can throw an egg pretty far. It's very light.
Here we go. I actually think I found the video.
Oh,
he gets a running start.
Oh, overhand. Oh, my.
And he catches it.
How in the hell?
Wow.
That throw was much more violent than I thought it would be. But
Yeah.
I guess you have to get that distance. Wow. Damn.
Well, you asked for the video and I found it.
Well done. 81 meters. Wait a minute. What's 81?
This was 7 years ago, so that would be 2016.
Okay. 81 meters is 265 feet. So just because they're saying world record, they might not be. The one might be longer, but 265 feet, that is still a hell of a throw. That's crazy.
Yeah, 7 years would have been 2018, so I think that's just for views. They wanted the clicks with world record, but still. Then, the next sport, egg dancing. All right? Now imagine, what do you think egg dancing is?
I don't know.
As a sport, just come up with something. Tell me. If you think of egg dancing, what do you think of?
I don't know.
Like an egg dancing?
I don't know.
Okay, fine. I'll just tell you.
I don't have legs. That doesn't make any sense.
Egg dance is a traditional Easter game in which eggs are laid on the ground or floor, and the goal is to dance among them, damaging as few as possible.
What?
Though it is thought that egg dancing originated in Germany as early as the 5th century, the earliest reference to egg dance was at the wedding of Margaret of Austria and Philibert of Savoy on Easter Monday, 1498.
Listen, I'm probably going to upset some Austrians, but Austria and Germany are pretty close to each other. So
they actually used to be the same country. You look far enough back.
And so I'm not going to take it on faith that the royalty just invented this by themselves and it wasn't something that nearby peasants did for fun. Yeah. So I think Germany might be the place.
In 1895, the American Magazine wrote about this historical event.
It was nuts. There were eggs, and they were all dun, 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 and I was like, no, they're gonna break them, but they only broke a few.
It was the true inspiration for Humpty Dumpty.
I shat, I came, I pissed my pants, I did everything. I lost all function of my bowels. It was that intense, insane stuff. Was that the article? I was reading the quote from the article there.
Close. Yeah. It's then the egg dance. The special dance of the season began. 100 eggs were scattered over a level space covered with sand, and a young couple taking hands began the dance. If they finished without breaking an egg, they were betrothed, and not even an ordurate parent could oppose the marriage. After 3 couples had failed, amidst the laughter and shouts of derision of the onlookers, Philip of Savoy, bending on his knee before Marguerite, begged her consent to try the dance with him. The admiring crowd of retainers shouted in approval, "Savoy in Austria!" And then the dance was ended and no eggs were broken. The enthusiasm was unbounded. Philip said, "Let us adopt the custom of Brice." And they were affianced, and shortly afterward married.
The custom of Brice? What's the custom of Brice?
I don't know.
Greece's not well-known cousin country.
Brice. Bressy, Bresse.
Let me adopt the custom of your brussy.
Let's get brussy.
Anyway.
So egg dancing became popular in European villages in the 1500s and 1600s, though egg dances continued to be a part of Easter traditions well into the 21st century. There are some egg dances today, but they're not nearly as popular.
I guess that you could consider it a sport because you win a marriage, I guess. Oh, man.
Egg dance!
Oh, she is way too serious about this, and that guy playing the violin is way too sad about it. I don't know what's going on here, but no one's happy.
No, not at all.
Even the people looking aren't happy. No one is happy in this photo. Man, peasant life. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Are we peasants?
We are peasants. But there's a few different ways to play. The one that you see in this photo is called the single egg and bowl. And the objective of the game is to tip an egg from within the bowl, then try to flip the bowl over the top using only your feet and staying within a chalk circle. And the person who did it the fastest would win. So you get it out of the bowl and then you flip the bowl over top of the egg.
Well, that doesn't seem that hard.
Well, I imagine you have to move to the music. So we'll have to try it. We'll put it on our list.
I don't want to do this one.
I'm going to make you.
You can't make me do anything.
You're right. I can't.
I'm my own person.
Then there's the egg dance that can be a team or individual where a bunch of eggs are scattered on the ground and you dance among them. And if you step on an egg, you're eliminated. And if that weren't enough, there's also the blindfolded version.
I was about to say, are you allowed to look at the ground? Because that would influence things tremendously. If they're blindfolded, now I'm starting to get into it. Now I start to understand where it's coming from.
So we have a video for the blindfolded version.
I'm going to hold it, pause. Look at these nerds. Look at these goddamn goofy nerds. Look at their stupid long socks and their green and their collars and their hiked up pants and their stupid shoes. And I've never hated any individuals more than I hate these goddamn nerds. All right, play it.
I know that's not true because there are two people in particular right now that you hate more than these two nerds.
You don't know anything. You know nothing. I knew it. I knew they'd be goofy nerds.
Listen to the sound. It's beautiful.
Oh, right. Yeah, I bet. Yeah. This guy's cheating.
Oh, by going around the outside? I guess there's a particular dance you have to do.
Okay, I see what's going on.
This looks like hopscotch now. Oh, he kicked an egg. It's still alive, though. What? Cheating!
Seems a little cheaty, but no, that's silly. But I get why it could be fun to watch. Maybe not so much to play, but who knows?
It might be a little bit fun to play.
I would be too alarmed by the evidence of me being a fool to ever have fun with that.
The egg squish?
No, trust me, it's not the squishing of the eggs that makes the fool. Look, I know every sport needs a hater. Call me this sport's #1 hater. I will never support anyone that does the egg dance. I will never support anyone that does the egg dance. And I consider any marriage based on the egg dance illegitimate. Illegitimate.
You heard it from the king of Five Nights at Freddy's himself.
If the
animatronics get married because of the egg dance, it's an illegitimate marriage.
That's some weird fan fiction that's probably going on. If there's no haters left of the egg dance, it's because I'm dead. All right?
I feel like you've just risen up with so many people to be like, I also hate it, Mark.
I know, right?
Why would you even talk about it? It's so bad. But now we get into the final sport.
Okay.
It's classic. The Easter egg hunt.
I suppose that is true. Well, is it a sport?
It is, because you are competing to find the most eggs. If you play it that way, it is a sport. It's not about finding the most worthy egg that has money in it or anything. It's about the most eggs.
I understand.
Now, the origins of Easter egg hunts date back to the 1500s. Again, Germany, where during Easter, there would be egg hunts for children with real eggs, since plastic really wasn't a thing back then. Now, this is the most popular egg sport, and you've probably played it at least once in your life. It can arguably be the most athletic and arguably also the most extreme and violent, depending on your opponents, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Because it requires strength, it requires endurance, combat skills, sharp mind, and ruthless determination to win.
Combat skills?
We'll get into that.
Isn't it usually just for children? I don't know many adults that do.
Oh, there are adults, and sometimes they will do it and they'll bury the eggs, and you have to find them buried. I've seen some stuff. I've seen things.
I've seen horrors.
I've seen the horrors.
The bodies are buried alongside the eggs.
Now, the first written reference to Easter eggs was in 1682 by George Frank von Frakenau's essay, De Ovis Praesolubles.
What? Yeah, bring it up on the screen. Let me see this. Let me see how you butchered this. George Frank von Frankenau, De Ovis Pashalibus. How did you fuck that up so bad?
That's just how I work, okay?
How did you, I don't even remember what you said, but I know it was a nightmare compared to what I just saw.
Which is translated roughly about Easter eggs.
Das Packen over!
In Alas and neighboring regions, these eggs are called rabbit eggs because of the myth told to fool simple people and children that the Easter bunny is going around laying eggs and hiding them in herb gardens.
So it's an inside joke. I see.
So the children look for them and even more enthusiastically, to the delight of smiling adults who have tricked their children to think that rabbits are laying colorful eggs.
Dumb kids. Fucking idiots.
Search for the eggs, you fools.
So it was an inside joke from the get-go to trick kids, and I was tricked, just like Santa Claus.
You just revealed that to people. They're so mad at you now.
I don't care.
I believe
They're
Santa
probably
Claus.
A bunch of egg dancers.
They are.
Dirty.
I believe Santa Claus is the embodiment of the spirit of Christmas, which is giving. That's the only. Yeah.
Well, that's not real either. So,
Oh, fair. You're right. Like many sports, Easter egg hunts become popular in the Victorian era.
Blur that. Jesus Christ.
We'll be finished before the food gets here.
Right.
worry.
Okay.
Like many sports, Easter egg hunts become popular in the Victorian era thanks to Queen Victoria herself.
Wow.
Well, Princess Victoria.
Is that why they call it that? The Victorian era.
Yeah.
They call it that because of Queen Victoria? Wow.
Yeah. Since she was still a child when her mother would hide Easter eggs throughout Kensington Palace for her, Queen Victoria did the same for her own children. Originally, they were hard-boiled eggs, but in the 1850s, artificial eggs began to be used. Now, the exact rules can vary by competition for Easter egg hunts. However, usually all competitors will line up with a basket in their hands, and someone in the crowd will say, go!
Anybody?
It could be. People trick people all the time. And the competitors who organized the event hid eggs all across fields, trees, buried underground, in rabbit holes, in bear traps, all over the place.
In bear traps?
Not unheard of. Probably has happened. And the competitors will scatter across the playing field as they search for the dozens of treat-filled plastic eggs hidden. For example, there might be a head start given to people under the age of 7 so that they have a little bit of a go to get the easier eggs. And they might get a 30-second head start. But once it's your turn to go, you race across the playing field. Usually a backyard, local park, searching every bush, tree, structure, playground, underground, under the earth, under decks, through rabbit holes, inside your dog's mouth. Because the person who finds the most eggs wins.
Damn.
Depending on how devious the person hiding the eggs was, you may need to scale on top of playground equipment, maybe roofs of houses, playground sets, climb trees, crawl under porches, dig holes to find the eggs.
I can't help but notice, but all these locations seem like they're centered around children. And you said bear traps.
Bears hunt eggs too. They can be hungry.
Yeah, well, it's a bear trap. They're not going to be hungry for much longer.
It's okay. The children are light enough. They don't trigger the bear trap. Only the adults do.
I bet that's true. Kids, go find out.
Don't.
He said it, not me.
If you happen to find an egg at the same time as someone else, it may be time for combat.
Interesting.
If you quickly grab the egg and run, sometimes you can get away with it.
Uh-huh.
Otherwise, wrestling, clawing, kicking, screaming, inflatable hammers, punches, sand to the eyes.
Only inflatable hammers?
We're being safe. Bear traps.
We're being safe. Bear traps. Only inflatable bear traps.
Until one of you gains possession of the egg and runs off to find their next egg. If you're lucky, your opponent will be so mad they'll throw one of their eggs at you, giving you yet another one. The competition ends when all eggs have been found or the person in charge calls for everyone to gather and count their eggs, as in time ran out. If you gathered many eggs and think you're the clear winner, you may want to stash some before heading to the counting spot in case an unfair judge makes you share your hard-won egg prizes with your fellow competitors. And that didn't gather as many eggs. When it's time to enjoy the sweet victory candy inside your eggs or delicious protein, you're really lucky and you get to enjoy all that you have found. And you win.
Well, congratulations.
And arguably, everyone wins if there's candy inside. Even if you get one, you get a piece of candy.
Also, like, I don't know what the benefit of doing it with real eggs would be, because how many eggs could a kid possibly want?
Also, when you're hiding them, how they get hot and then they'll get stinky. And if they're not found, then you got the smell of rotten egg all over the place. Sometimes people make dumb decisions.
What? Who?
Particularly people in the White House.
What?
It's crazy, right?
They're making decisions?
Oh my God. But that's going to do it. Those are our egg sports.
That's great.
Weren't you ecstatic to hear about them all?
I'm done. I'll leave now. I'm not partaking in that.
Thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode as much as Mark did. Hopefully more.
I did.
But we're going to go eat our food. So go yell at us on the Reddit if you so choose and think that this one was so ill-prepared, like the St. Patrick's Day special. Feel free to yell at us. Reddit.com/r/gmfst. If you want to get some merch, get your hands on some swag, store.gmfst.com. Please buy it all. Get rid of it. It's our Easter egg gift to you. Easter egg gift? Easter gift.
It's our Easter gift to you that costs money.
Yes. That's going to do it for us. I guess. I'm hungry.
I'm hungry too.
Bye.
Bye.